News just coming in on the Vodafone tax case. The Supreme Court dismisses the government's review plea. In fact, Devdatta Das is standing by to give us more details on this. She's at the Capitol. Devdatta, over to you. Tell us what the ruling's all about.
Well, the petition took a long time coming in. The judges had decided it was a two that they took because it was a closed-door decision. Therefore, none of us were privy to exactly what happened and on what grounds these decisions have been taken. But the petition stands dismissed. The government's petition stands dismissed. So essentially what it means is that the government will have to make the entire 2,500 crore plus the 4% interest payment by tonight. Because remember, the deadline for making that payment up expires tonight, and that's a big blow for the government, given that they had hoped with the retrospective legislation that they have proposed in the budget, this would have given them some space, that the Supreme Court would have given them some time to get around it and work through it till the proposal became a legislation. But that hasn't happened. The Supreme Court has outrightly rejected the petition of the government, and therefore the payment will now have to be made.
We have Supriya Srinith, our policy editor, standing by to give us more clarity on what this judgment really means. Supriya, over to you.
You know, Sonali, this judgment essentially dismisses the review petition of the government, which essentially means that the legal recourse that the government was looking for in the tax case is not coming just yet. But what has the government done? The government has gone ahead and with retrospective effect changed tax laws. They've proposed to do that in the budget, and in all certainty this will be an act, which essentially means that Vodafone will have to cough up the cash. In fact, most deals like that, dating back all the way to 1962, if the government wants to, it can really go and rake in the revenues through that route. But the fact is that the court does not find favor. The court, it was a very unanimous judgment. There was no doubt about it. Two-judge bench, remember Justice Ganguly and Justice Singhvi had, three-judge bench had ruled on this, including the Chief Justice of India, Justice Kapadia, and they were very, very scathing of the taxman when they had actually ruled on this judgment. They had said, I remember the day this judgment was pronounced, they had said this does not need clarification from a higher bench. So in some sense, they had really nipped the government's efforts in the bud, and this is exactly what they have done today, and which is perhaps why we are seeing what the court has done today. They've dismissed the government's petition. They're not finding any legal ground for the government to seek review on the tax case. They believe the judgment that was pronounced about a month back is final, and that judgment does find favor with the Supreme Court. Still, of course, legislature, on the part of the legislature, on the part of the parliament, there can be an only wax, and Vodafone could be arm twisted to pay that tax. But for the Supreme Court, there is no doubt whatsoever in their mind whether Vodafone is liable to pay tax at all or not.